Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal, and today I want to introduce to you a brand new idea. It's an idea you may not have heard of before, but which I believe will be very useful for you when you are fighting cases before RERA or before consumer court, before any other judicial forum as well, like civil court. But I think RERA, more than any other forum, will be the suitable forum for this use of the concept. The concept I am going to introduce to you is anticipatory breach of contract. Now, let me explain what is anticipatory breach of contract and why you need this concept to hold the builder accountable. Why it is going to help you to hold the builder accountable. Friends, the contract for ongoing project, that is for under construction project, is basically tilted, biased in favor of the builder against you. If you are buying a property which is going to be delivered to you in 2028 and they are saying we are selling it to you today at 50 lakhs, then you make an assumption that the property is worth 50 lakhs and your money is of course worth 50 lakhs. Then you are beginning to pay for the 50 lakhs property which you will get in 2028 right now in 2022. So think about it like this. If today you give 50 lakh rupees to somebody and in 2028 he gives you back 50 lakhs, did you get richer or did you get poorer? I say you got a lot poorer, because 50 lakhs today is probably, 30 lakhs in 2028, 6 years later. It is not worth 50 lakhs, it is worth only 30 lakhs. That is the concept. Now, this is the kind of a deal you are making with a builder. You tell the builder, I am starting to pay you today, and you enter into a contract. And that contract, that agreement is extremely stringent on your payments. They say, if you are late in payment, then we are going to penalize you. We are going to charge you administrative charges of 20,000 rupees per default. We are going to charge you interest. We will charge you check bouncing charges, exorbitant check bouncing charges, if there is an instance of check bouncing. And in addition, they say we can cancel the contract. It will be considered as a breach of contract if you pay late. Now, what is the essence of your contract? What is the objective of your agreement? The objective of your agreement, my friends, which you completely forget about, is this. The builder is supposed to give you a house by 2028 December. You are supposed to give him the value of that house by 2028 December 100%. Like you are supposed to give him 100% of the value of the house by the time he gives you possession. That is the spirit of the contract. That is the objective of the contract. But the kind of schedule which is imposed upon you by the builder is not in keeping with the objective of the contract at all. Very often what you see is the builder doesn't start construction or he is late in construction, but he ties you up with a schedule where he starts charging you a lot of money upfront. So let us say only 20 or 30% of the project is completed by the year 2022, end of 2022, but he will have already charged 40%, 50% of the money. He does it with a very clever use of words. For example, they say, commencement of plinth we are going to charge you this much. So first of all, you have to give token amount, so 10%. Then after you enter into registered agreement, they will say, okay, you have to give another 20% because it is the second part of your booking amount. They will say booking amount 2, another 10% or 20%. And then they say upon commencement of plinth. Now, upon commencement of plinth, if it is a very tall structure, commencement, not completion of the plinth. Okay, it's just at ground level, but by then if they charge you another 10% or something like that, you will have ended up paying a large chunk, a large proportion of the cost of the project, whereas you are going to get delivery of that project only 6 years later in 2028. So you are paying a fairly large chunk, 30-40% right now in 2022. That is not favorable to you. That is not an equation that is favorable to you. And so what you see in this kind of under construction projects is basically you become the builder's partner in risk. Now you don't know it. You think you are his customer. You want to be his customer. You don't want to be his partner. But you are his partner in risk and you are his partner in loss. You are not his partner in profit. He is going to give you a flat at most. But he may impose undue losses onto you. For example, if he fails to complete the project, builder is not poorer. The Lodhas and the Runwals, the family members, are not going to become poorer. The company may go bankrupt. They will charge, they will withdraw salaries. Director salaries are withdrawn from the company. So they will regularly withdraw company, salaries from the company, crores of rupees. So families are going to be very wealthy. The company may default in its obligations to others. It may not pay the workers, it may not pay their employees or some of the employees and so on, and finally it may end up going bankrupt if it cannot pay all its suppliers. The cost of the failure is borne by you, because if the company goes bankrupt, then your project is halted. Who's going to pay? Who's bearing the cost? Who's paying the EMIs on the money that has already been paid towards the structure, the building? You are paying it. You are paying EMIs. Have you gotten your house in 2028? No, you haven't. Okay. The builder went bust. Why did he go bust? Variety of reasons. Or if he doesn't go bust, if he doesn't go bankrupt, they get arrested in some cases. Okay. Well-known people like Ahuja Builders and Omkar are getting arrested. They are going behind bars for some or the other cheating, breach of contract, out and out cheating. They are going behind bars. There are so many builders who are being put behind bars. But when the builders go behind bars, if their schedules suffer, if their projects suffer, who is bearing the cost of it? You are bearing the cost of it. They are not bearing the cost of it. So you are kind of like partners. Every time you book in a real estate project that is ongoing construction, you are thinking that you are a customer. You are not a customer. Then some people think, no, I'm not a customer, I'm an investor. An investor should earn profit. There should be an upside risk and a downside risk. There is only a downside risk. You're not going to get a bigger flat if the guy makes more money. No. You are going to get the same size flat. In fact, if the guy makes more money, the chances are that you are getting the flat late and you are getting the common amenities and the clubhouse and the swimming pool and all that later. Why? Because if the builder gets more FSI, if he gets more building permissions to build more towers or to build your tower taller, so your 20-story tower turns into a 40-story tower, it means your building is going to continue being under construction. Even if he gets part OC and he gives you your flat by 2028, after that you are living in an under construction tower. If there is a weakening of the tower due to the added load, you are paying the cost for that. You are going to one day pay the price for it. If it collapses or if something goes wrong, you are paying the price for it. The risk of living in an under construction building, an under construction tower, they may have very advanced technologies, fine. But there is still a risk, and the risk is much more than staying in a tower that is completed. Who's bearing that risk? You are bearing the risk. Who's getting a profit? He is getting a profit. Why? Because instead of building 20 floors, he is building 40 floors. He is going to sell more flats. He is making a huge profit. You are bearing the cost. You are bearing the risk. He will give you your common amenities, your clubhouse and all those other things that you paid for. All the beautiful things. that you want for your kids 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years later, because he is busy building the rest of the project. And all that is written into the agreement. Who's bearing it? You are. You are bearing the loss for it. Your children will grow up before they get a chance to enjoy the swimming pool and the club for which you bought a flat in this project. People want their children, their family members to enjoy when they are growing up. If that doesn't happen, if your children have grown up, gone to college, gone to hostel, and then you get your swimming pool, you get your club, what is the use? So these costs are all imposed upon you. All the risks are imposed upon you. Now, there is one issue which can be addressed, which is this. There are some times when you find that the builder is not going to complete. Suppose the year is 2025 and the builder's progress is not satisfactory. You know he is going to breach his 2028 deadline. You know he is not going to meet his commitment for 2028. All you need to do is to get an engineer or an architect to assess the whole thing and give you a certificate saying, in our opinion, the project has only reached this stage, the year is 2025. We can see that he is unlikely to give us possession by 2028 when he is promised us possession. And therefore, there is an anticipated breach of contract. Now, why do you have to sue for anticipated breach of contract? Guys, if you can succeed in suing him for anticipated breach of contract, you can stop paying more money until he finishes the building, which may mean that your bank will have to disburse less loan, or you will have to pay less installments to the builder. You can withhold the installments after getting an order from RERA. You can save some money, and if the project fails to materialize, fails to be completed, then instead of losing 40 lakhs or 45 lakhs, maybe you will have saved some of it and you will only have lost 25 lakhs. So you can save some money by filing a case for anticipated breach of contract. Now, I want to thank the guy who has given me this idea. This is coming from a YouTube comment which triggered me. This concept of anticipated breach is not popular. It's not popular in India. It is not popular with Indian courts. It is not popular with RERA. So, you guys will have to go the extra mile. You will have to educate them. Maybe there will be some cases where you have to show extreme scenarios. For example, there are scenarios like this. The builder says he is going to give you a finished flat in 2023 December. Already we are in mid of 2022. And what we find is that he has just barely started the construction work, or he has not even started the construction work. Now you may say, oh, but the builder will ask for extension. Correct, exactly. The builder will ask for extension if you keep quiet, and you will be put to a loss. What you can do is, you can file a case for anticipated breach of contract. Now, as you know, if you decide to file the case today, you are not going to get a hearing today from RERA. In fact, it is not even easy to file the case today if you have decided today. If you decide today, your filing will happen maybe 1 month later if you work at it properly. If you stay, in touch with your lawyer regularly and you work on the draft and all that, 1 month later it will be lodged in RERA. 6 months later or so, you may get a hearing. Maybe even later than that, 7-8 months later, you will get a hearing, first hearing. You will give notice to the builder. Builder will reply to you. There is a process. So another 2 hearings later, it will already be mid of 2023. So if he is going to give you the possession by end of 2023, when you are standing in June 2023, it will be quite clear that he is not able to give you possession, because the condition of the building and the completion, to the extent of completion of the building may uphold your side of the story, and you will be able to say, see, he has only constructed up to 25th floor, he is supposed to construct up to 40th floor. In 6 months he is going to build 15 floors and he is going to complete them, he is going to do the plastering and all the rest of that and give me my flat which is on say 38th floor. Not possible. So I want compensation. So what will happen is you will start getting compensated, at least by way of interest, at the time when he is supposed to pay, or immediately. So you ask for compensation starting from the month when he is supposed to give you possession. Now you are preempting some of the delay. Otherwise, how does it work? Otherwise, if you have to wait for things in the regular course, you are going to wait until December of 2025 in our current example, and only after December 2025 comes and he has not given you possession, then you go to RERA. By then he has maybe filed for extension and he's gotten an extension. So it is not fruitful. He kind of destroys the meaning of it. What you can instead do is start early, start now. Okay, now what do you need for starting now? What is your requirement? One is, you need a good estimate. You need a proper technical guy's estimate. How do you do that? Take a person who is a qualified engineer, a qualified civil engineer with some experience in the building industry and experience in that kind of construction. Okay, however the builder is building it. Okay, suppose he is using My1 technology. With My1 technology, how many floors of a tower of this kind can you build within 1 month? How many slabs can be cast? Then how much time is required for drainage and electricity and the plastering and doors and windows and all those things before you get OC, occupation certificate? How much time will that take? You need a good estimate. So if this engineer or architect, I don't know who's the exact professional, but I'm assuming it will be either an engineer or an architect or a professional of that kind. So if that professional gives you a certificate saying, in my opinion, there is no way this builder can finish construction work and give you possession before December 2026. So when he is saying his date of possession is 2025, it is not possible. Therefore, the case for anticipatory breach of contract is made out. The builder is acting in a way which shows that he plans to breach the contract. He has already breached the contract because he is behind on schedule. And he is so much behind on schedule that it is no longer a matter of argument. It's not 6 days, 6 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. It's not that kind of time of being behind schedule. It is 1 full year behind schedule or 2 full years behind schedule. That kind of major breaches, you can take such actions. Okay, if it's minor, if it looks like 50-50, maybe he will do it, maybe he won't, then it may not be worth going in for anticipatory breach of contract. Then you be patient, wait, and if he is late, go for breach of contract. Or you start your work early, like you see he is unlikely to finish, unlikely to get OC before the possession date. Prepare yourself for going to RERA. It takes time, so prepare yourself. Maybe even put it into RERA. When it comes up for hearing, the time will have arrived, like December 2025. When the possession date is there, the case will also reach and you can start arguing. So this is another way you can do it. So in any case, this concept of anticipated breach, I think it's a very useful concept. Now there is one more concept, one more way in which you can play this. I keep looking at ways in which you can sort of even the score. Okay, what happens is the builders have biased things in their own favor so heavily that on this side there is no thinking. On that side, on the builder's side, lawyers are thinking all the time, day and night. Every word of the agreement pro forma and every word of the allotment letter and every word of the application form, the lawyers have been thinking and perfecting. On this side, nobody is thinking. Nobody is thinking. Okay? So what happens is, that side is protected. This side, the customer side, completely unprotected. So I am always looking for ways to protect the customer side. How do you build up the customer side? Here's one more idea. Think about it. See, when the object of an agreement is itself distorted. For example, when they say things like, time is of the essence for you to pay the money. But on the other side, the monitoring on the builder's side of it, whether he is building, as per schedule, that is not being monitored, then something is going deeply wrong. The objective of that agreement is not being upheld. So here is a suggestion. It may not be easy, but think about it. Sometimes it may be worth doing even if it's not easy. The idea is, maybe you can go to RERA. The builder has not given you cause for complaint yet, okay? But you go to RERA saying that the agreement that I signed is a one-sided agreement and it has these issues, and I want these issues to be corrected because it's an extremely one-sided agreement. Now the RERA may ask you, why did you sign in the first place? You have to say it is because the builder with his dominant position left me no choice but to sign. So I have signed, but now I want you to correct the situation. And you start getting clauses amended, struck off, and so on and so forth. This may be a worthwhile effort. Let's think about it. I'm Krish the Urban Naxal, your friend. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.